So just inviting everyone just to settle in, just where we are, where we're standing, where we're sitting. Just taking a moment just to sort of just connect within. And just within this sacred space that I've already opened today, just taking a moment just to be with the breath. Just noting that breath at the end of the nose. Just allowing us to find that moment, that connection with the moment, that peace. And just inviting you just to notice how the breath just comes into the body and just flows all the way to the crown, to the feet. And just within our sacred space here today, just inviting you to create our own meditation space around us. So maybe with a mind's eye or just physically. Just lifting our hands to about a foot above our head. And just creating that space around us, that place of meditation. Just taking a moment to notice it and how it even more clear with every breath. Just how in this meditation space things are just things. Just providing us that space just to notice without judgment. A wonderful gift of clarity. Just being able to see into the shadows, into perhaps what's not easily seen. And in this space, just finding that place of joy and sweetness. And enabling us that with that skill that just gives us that metta position. That place from the eagle's view. Just taking a moment just to be in our meditations bubble, our zone, our space. And just noticing what you notice. And on this wonderful full moon, just setting that intention, just to connect with the full moon. Just explore and be curious about all those wisdoms that bring connection and peace. Just enabling us to clear and cleanse. Just allowing our energy to flow where it needs to. And just inviting you just to create a portal within our meditation space here today. To explore that place in nature. It has the well of life. With the mind's eye, or physically, just perhaps lifting our hands again just about a foot above the head and just creating that portal from our meditation zone. And just inviting you just to approach the portal, the door. And as we just prepare to step through or flow through, moving into that place of nature, just taking a moment just to reflect, setting whatever the intentions that bring real usefulness to our lives just from this day forward. And just checking that have everything we need just to explore that connection with the full moon. I'm just inviting you to move through that doorway, that portal, just finding yourself in a place of nature. And just exploring that place in a safe way. Just noting all the animals, all the plants, all the fungi. Just noticing the earth and all the minerals, and nourishment within the earth. And within that space, you may just notice a path, or a guide, or a sign. That will lead us to that place of the well of life. I'm just checking in. Are you here, my guide? Is this the path? I'm just confirming just 3 times. Are you here, my guide? Are you the path? I want to confirm just following the guide or the path through that place in nature. Maybe through the woods, through the mountains, through the skies. Finding that way up into that place that just provides that world view. That connection of the earth to the life source. Just the ability to see the moon, sun, and all that wonderful light that just illuminates everything within the moon and our full moon here today. And just noticing what you notice when that well. Just noticing how the water flows within it and around it and through it. A place of recovery and energy. And just inviting you, just taking a moment just to connect with that well. And just asking curiosity and sensitivity. How may I connect and immerse myself with that well of life today? Bringing that connection of the life source to the earth and the earth to the life source, just in that wonderful cycle. Perhaps of energy coming in with a breath, and all the waste, everything that's no longer useful, just clearing itself out back to earth with every breath out. And perhaps just inviting you to notice how within the well, water flows in and water flows out. And when it's okay to do so, just connecting deeply in that well. And maybe by immersing and stepping into the water, just feeling the water just come up around us, cleansing, clearing, perhaps even energizing as we step deeper into the water. Or it may be just putting our feet into the water, or our hands, or just noticing the water, in whatever way is the best way. Just connect and immerse ourselves in that well of life. And you might notice the freshness in that place of nature, but just noticing what you notice. Perhaps being curious of how the water flows in and flows out. As the water flows around us, just taking all our cares, our troubles, flowing them back in to the Mother Earth. And just noticing the light cast by the sun. And feeling that warmth if it's warm. Just allowing that illumination to enable us to clear everything that needs to be cleared. Almost with every water molecule just flowing around us. Just allowing us to put all our things, issues, whatever they may be, to be cleared. And just noticing what you notice as each and every discombobulation just flows away. Perhaps just taking a moment to notice how they flow, disappearing and changing, creating those nutrients, that nourishment for the earth around us. I'm just inviting you within that place, a place in nature that has the well. Just noticing how you're immersed in the well. But just inviting you to turn your attention to how the water flows from the source. Maybe through the mountain or through the seas or the rivers, but just bringing all that flow of life force, life energy through us and around us, just into that well of life. And just inviting you to set that intention with that connection to the life source through the well. Just being curious about what intentions may I be able to set from here today, perhaps for a short time or a long time or just a time. An intention that allows me to heal, brings me along my fulfilled and healed potential. And just noticing what you notice is that water flows from the life source, bringing all those suggestions of intentions. Just finding the one or two that may resonate. And bring that vitality in everything we do and everything we are. It's enabling us to move towards our healed potential. Just inviting you to be curious with those intentions, just maybe asking, how may I work with you? What's the benefit of this intention to bring into my life here today? I'm just being curious how this may bring benefits to the whole of you. How this may help my community, my family, my wider family, to everyone in the world and beyond. And there may be several of these intentions, perhaps just one, but just exploring. What these mean for me here today. How may they energize my life and those connected around me? How may I bring energy to the world? And just being curious if there was a gift or maybe an essence, a flavour that these intentions that you could bring in to assimilate these intentions through the body. Just what would that make that be? How may you integrate this gift, this essence into the body, into the soul? And when it's okay to do so, perhaps with the mind's eye, and physically just reaching out and just receiving these gifts, just bringing them in to the heart, to the belly, and through our third eye. Just within that place, within the well, however we're connected within it, just noticing how they can assimilate and integrate as the water flows around us and perhaps within us. Just bringing all those gifts or those intentions, but just an intention. All the benefits that that intention brings for us, just feeling it flow. For every muscle, for every nerve, just making any adjustments to enable that flow even more so. And in this place, in the well of life, and that connection to the source, to the earth, with these gifts, I'm just completing these sentences, with these gifts, I am. With these gifts, I now have. And with these gifts, I can. And I feel. Just making any adjustments around within us, perhaps moving within the well or around the well. Just taking a moment to be with these gifts of these intentions, just noticing how they become part of us. And just taking a moment as I invite you, just as the water flows around us within us, just to release everything that is no longer necessary or needed or useful or helpful. Just allowing them to flow with the water. Just noticing how all these gifts from those intentions just change, how we can just let things go. Just returning it all through the water to the earth. Perhaps just noticing the water around us as we continue to bring those intentions, continue to release. Just how the water may change around us too. Just noticing how every change has a consequence. Just moving us further along, enabling our potential. And just inviting you to take a moment to thank that well of life for always being there. And perhaps just asking the question, what may I do for you, well of life? I'll enable you to help others and continue to help me, support me, enable me. And just invite you to listen with the whole body. And just making any commitments that need to be made or should be made or you want to make in whatever way is best for that connection with the well of life. Just taking a moment just to notice around you now, maybe a shape or a symbol or a movement. Perhaps around you or from yourself, just something that you can bring in every day. Just allowing us to come back to this place within the well of life, just checking our attentions and clearing. And if it's okay to do so, just bringing that symbol with us as we just check in with the well. So maybe disconnect now, maybe just remove myself from that deep connection, bringing it to the everyday, perhaps by just coming out of the well, moving our feet out, or just drying ourselves, just noticing that place and nature around us. Just feeling that sharpness, those intentions, just bringing wherever they bring in a wonderful way. And just taking a moment now just to reconnect with the path of the guide. Bringing us back to that wider place of nature. And just noticing where you notice as we may return by a different route or the same route or a different way. We're coming into that wider place of nature. Just thanking the guide of the path for the support and the guidance. And just noticing where you notice now. Any changes, any similarities in this place of the wider space of nature now, with what becomes possible. And just acknowledging that wider space as you invite to bring your attention back to that door, back into our meditation zone, our meditation bubble. And just inviting you before we step through back into our meditation space, into the everyday, just leaving anything that would be good to leave. Anything that no longer serves me in a way that's useful. Perhaps just the smallest thing. Just returning it to nature. And when it's okay to do so, just stepping back into our meditation bubble. And then noticing where we are within it, just inviting you just to close that portal, either with the mind's eye or physically, just lifting our hands about a foot above the head. And just closing that portal to that place in nature, just bringing our meditation zone back. That place of the eagle's view, where we find the sweetness of life, where we have the ability to see into the shadows and notice without judgment. Just feeling the breath bring all our connections through the crown to the life source and through our feet, through our legs, down to Mother Earth. Just noticing that whole body breath. And noticing the breath and filling the lungs, filling the diaphragm. Noticing how all our rib cage, our diaphragm, just noticing how it responds to the breath. And just noticing the breath, the tip of the nose. As we move back to the everyday, just inviting again with the mind's eye, or physically just to close our meditation space by bringing our hands up about a foot above the head, and just closing that space, bringing it within inside with perhaps a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly. Just balancing and harmonizing all our experiences today. And just tuning in with any intentions, any insights that we bring from our experience. Just bring in any symbols or movements. I'm just inviting you to set the intention just for maybe for each day, or just for a moment, to set your intentions again. And when you're ready, just coming back into the room and just noticing the eyes around us, what's happening, opening the eyes, just noticing, perhaps just taking a moment to appreciate what we have around us. And if you're ready, just maybe making a note of anything that may be useful to make a note of. And if it's okay to do so, be very happy to share experiences.